Hello again and welcome back to London. The Greek crisis has entered a new phase after it missed a key repayment to the IMF. So what happens now? Well, I've been to the offices of Sucden Financial to try and find out. It's really good to speak to you again. We've seen Greece miss this payment to the IMF. What happens now?
Yes, yesterday it is uncertainty, and it was uncertain, and it was like, unfortunately, a proper default for the Greek government and the Greek country as well. Greece missed the payment, as we all know, to pay back the IMF, and so it was unfortunately an official default. As we know, it's the referendum on Sunday, just in 5 days, and all the eyes are over there, just for the results, yes or no.
Yeah. What do you think happens in that referendum? You are my token Greek. You're the Greek that I turn to now. What do you think the people of Greece are thinking in terms of this referendum?
You know what? It has been 5 months of continuous unsuccessful negotiations, and it has been 5 years since Greece received the first bailout program. And now the Greek Prime Minister, Alexis Tsipras, is asking the Greek people in just 5 days, again 5, to decide with a yes or no after the referendum. It's quite tight what's going to be the result, and it's very difficult to know the consequences either with a yes or no vote. I consider it with a yes vote, people are going to say yes to Europe and yes to bailout program. So we expect possibly a new deal to come in the coming days, possibly. With a no vote, that means possibly that Greece might be exit the Eurozone in the coming months. It's not going to happen immediately, but it could happen, actually. Yeah,
there's another possible outcome as well, is that if the vote is 50.05% for the packages, does that mean that that's a mandate for, well, Tsipras will have to go and that they push through these new measures?
Tsipras was trying to negotiate for so long now, five months. So he suggested with a yes or no vote, he will try to see and negotiate again with the European creditors to get a deal. I don't know what's going to be the reaction from the European leaders, though. It's better to wait and see. And actually, it's going to be quite radical political changes after the referendum. That's the rumours in the country.
Yeah. It strikes me that no one's come out of this well. The IMF have had their first default since Zimbabwe. And the European Commission is under pressure now as well because it's trying to keep this project together. Do you think there's any danger that this Greece example, the way that Brussels has handled itself, that this will put the whole Euro project in focus and under more pressure?
If you mean to Greece specifically, it is true though that the creditors added quite a lot of pressure to the Greek government and the Greek people. They asked for so many stuff, and it was very difficult and very sad for the Greek society as well to try to figure out with the new austerity measures, pension cuts, quite a lot of taxation and limits to the country as well. So the ECB and the IMF, of course, they have their own mandates and their own procedures in order to try, but every country is different, as we all know, and they have to approach it in a different way. I'm not saying that someone is right, someone is wrong. Both sides have pros and cons, but you have to try it and see what you adjust to every time.
So that's the European side, the lender side of it. How do you think Syriza and Tsipras and Varoufakis have come out of this? Because it's quite interesting that right up until that deadline, then they said they want to negotiate again. Do you think they're looking slightly desperate, or are they just sticking true to what they've negotiated all along?
I'm not sure exactly what they think. It's very difficult to try to see what is behind. I can see both sides, but on the other side, Greek finance minister Varoufakis had plenty of time to negotiate, and I think he tried his best. I think, but it's all up down to the referendum now.
Yeah.
There are many rumours, though. There are many rumours that the referendum might be called off any minute now. There are many rumours that the well-known Varoufakis, the finance minister, could go in the coming days. And there are, of course, fresh rumours that we might have elections instead of a referendum in the coming days or weeks. So it's going to be very, very uncertainty in political economic situation for the country.
Do you think, just to finish off with the currency implications, do you think this has any bearing when it turns into a Greek domestic picture? Does this influence the euro? Because if it turns into this dogfight, catfighting between different parties in Greece, is this something which directly impacts the euro?
If you look at the reaction of the euro, it held quite well. Of course, we had a correction lower down to 109 against the dollar on Monday, but we expected that. Still, it was not that much pressure, according to my view. In Sucden Financial, we still see the euro holding around the recent range. Of course, with a Brexit, we expect high volatility and nervous trading in the markets. We could see some further pressure to the euro, but considering the call of the referendum during the weekend, both European markets and the euro held fairly well. We saw a strong rebound today in the markets, Asia and Europe as well.
Well, some really great analysis there. We'll continue to monitor what happens in terms of the Greek crisis, but from a beautiful London, goodbye for now.